you're good friends with Daniel Ricciardo. Is there anything you could say to him to say, hey, dude, motorsports in general is a dangerous sport, but we do it because we love it, and these cars are just as fine, buddy?
I went to Austin for Formula One there, and I was having lunch with him on the Sunday before the race, and we were talking about these things, and he was saying that, IndyCar looks really cool. He's a big fan of it. Yeah, I'm not sold on ovals yet. And then I'm like, hey, wait a second, bud. And I showed him my Indy 500 ring with all the blings and diamonds and everything. And he's like, oh my God, okay, I might change my mind on ovals now if that's what you can win.
So Marcus Ericsson, IndyCar Series pilot, joining us once again in the Freak Nation. This time he has a Borg Warner and Indy 500 trophy to his name. And the pictures, the videos that we're seeing from Sweden, absolutely bonkers. The thousands of people that showed up to welcome their native son with this trophy. Did you expect such a crazy-ass crowd to welcome you with this trophy?
To be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect. I was, very excited about bringing the Borg Warner Trophy to Sweden. That was just bringing it to my home country was very special. And then I knew, we had a lot of things planned, but obviously the sort of highlight of my week was bringing the trophy to Kumla, my small little hometown in Sweden. And this turnout that we had with, I think they estimated it was 8,000 people on the city square celebrating with me was just incredible.
Again, Marcus Ericsson, Indy 500 winner, joining us here in the Freak Nation. And the only way that I could put this into perspective is the most famous trophy in my lifetime would be the World Cup trophy. And I don't know if I'd show up with 8,000 people to welcome my team back for that trophy. What is so special about the Indy 500 to Swedes? Or is it the fact that their native son won the damn thing, or they wouldn't give a crap if a Brazilian won it?
No, I think it's a combination. I think the interest for IndyCar and for the 500 has been growing and growing the last few years. And then also for me, I did 5 years of Formula One before I went to IndyCar and have a solid fan base that follows me and is covering my career. So I think it was a combination of things. And then the 500, I think people don't really understand how big it is yet. But I think this tour that we've done this past week has really helped people over here in Sweden to understand how big the 500 is. I think with the tradition, obviously Kenny Brack, the other Swede who won it in '99, have sort of put the 500 so people know about it, I think. But it's definitely been sort of exploded since May this year and me winning it.
Well, Marcus Ericsson, winner of the 106th running of the Indy 500, May 2022, you just kind of alluded to something there, how Sweden potentially was more of a Formula One fan base, but because of Kenny Brack maybe putting the Indy 500 on the map, and now you winning it and your hometown just going nuts, Stockholm even going nuts, is there something that can be made for the success of just motorsports in general, you guys taking it to another level?
Yeah, I think so. I think racing is definitely on the up. I think Formula One, the way that's been growing the last few years has definitely helped all kinds of motorsports, in my opinion. And I think for us, the IndyCar series is becoming stronger and stronger each year. We have a lot of cars, a lot of good drivers coming to the series, a lot of international drivers coming to the series. And I feel like the interest for the IndyCar series is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger here in Europe. And, in Scandinavia now we have me and Felix, we have Linus who won Indy Lights, and hopefully he will be on the grid at some point next year. We have Christian Lundgaard from Denmark. There is a lot of drivers and it creates a lot of interest. So it's really cool to see. And like I said, bringing the trophy here, the trophy is obviously very unique and very spectacular. So I think people have been very impressed about it. And we've definitely, I think, created some new IndyCar fans as well this past week here in Sweden, which is super cool.
Hey, Dad, what are you going to buy at the store today?
I'm out of Lucas Oil fuel treatment, so let's jump in here and grab us some.
Well, do they have the Lucas Oil parts cleaner and degreaser?
I bet they do.
Well, how about the Lucas Oil power steering fluid?
They'll have that too.
Even the octane booster?
I won't be surprised if they do.
My favorite red and tacky grease?
Yes, they will, babe.
Dad, when we're done, can we grab some candy?
Deal, but you gotta share.
Awesome! Lucas works.
Marcus, help me out with something here. You're good friends with Daniel Ricciardo, and everybody wants to see Daniel in IndyCar, but he's saying apparently that ovals are not his thing. He has a little bit of a fear factor for ovals. You're one of his buddies who has found success on the biggest oval in the world. Is there anything you could say to him to say, hey, dude, motorsports in general is a dangerous sport, but we do it because we love it. And these cars are just as fine, buddy. They're just as fine.
I tell you a fun story. So I met him. I went to Austin for Formula One there, and I was having lunch with him on the Sunday before the race. And we were talking about these things, and he was saying that IndyCar looks really cool. He's a big fan of it. Yeah, I'm not sold on ovals yet. And then I'm like, hey, wait a second, bud. And I showed him my Indy 500 ring with all the blings and diamonds and everything. And he's like, oh my God, okay, I might change my mind on ovals now if that's what you can win. So yeah, I'll work on it. I think he would love it in IndyCar, but he seems to not be ready to sort of come over here yet. But who knows? I think we've seen over the years, a lot of drivers coming from Formula One having a bit of a sort of don't want to do the ovals thing, and then it takes a year or two and they do the ovals and love it. So I think it could be a similar thing with Daniel if he were to come over to IndyCar at some point.
And real quick, I just want to interject this real quick. Would you argue that ovals are easier to drive in an IndyCar without power steering than driving the street circuits and the road courses on an IndyCar without power steering?
I don't know. I think it's all the cool thing with IndyCar for me is the sort of combination of things, right? We have the street courses, we have the road courses, we have the short ovals, we have the super speedways. It's the mix that makes it so cool, in my opinion. And they all require a different type of driving style, different setups, and that's what I think makes IndyCar unique. And me personally, one of the biggest reasons I wanted to come to IndyCar was because of the ovals, because I always thought that oval racing was something that I thought it looked really cool, and I thought I would really like it and be good at it. And I'm happy that's been the case. So, I love it. I think it's really fun and a very cool way of go racing.
Marcus Ericsson, winner of the Indy 500, sixth in points last year. That stuns me. I was getting ready to go down a whole different road here, but you're the first driver based in Europe that I've ever seen or ever heard mention that they were looking forward to driving on ovals. You must be Swedish.
Yeah, no, but it's funny because Kenny Brack, he was helping me in my early career quite a lot and managing me, and obviously Kenny was making a great career here in the States. And I remember growing up, watching TV with my dad. We would watch some races with Kenny here in the States when he was in IndyCar and winning the 500 in '99, I think it was. And already then, it was sort of in my mind. And then throughout my career, my specialty has always been high-speed corners. And for me, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I love high-speed corners. I'm always really good in high-speed corners. I must be made for oval racing, right? Because that's what it is. It's high-speed corners, constantly high-speed corners. So I was like, I need to try that at some point in my career. And that's why, like you said, most European drivers or drivers from outside of the US, they sort of don't want to do it. But for me, I always had that sort of thing in my mind that some point I need to go to America and try ovals because I think it would be really cool. So like I said, I'm happy I did. I love it. I think oval racing is amazing. And obviously after this year, I haven't changed that. That's only made me, more a fan of oval racing after winning the 500.
Marcus, when you were in Austin for the F1 race, did maybe an owner or two knock on your shoulder and said, hey, dude, you interested in coming back? Would that attract you at all?
So, I mean, I still know a lot of people in the F1 paddock, and, it's fun going and see old friends and so on. I didn't get any concrete offers. I am also under contract for next year, and I'm very happy on the contract for next year. So for me, it's a chapter that I'm past now. I'm really happy being in IndyCar, and I see myself being in IndyCar, fighting for more 500s and championships for many, many years to come. So that's sort of where my mindset is. So yeah, that's how I see it.
I'm going to let you get by with the adjective concrete offers, meaning that somebody might have said, let's say a muddy offer, but you got there was some interest. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't know if you were a milk drinker before the Indy 500, but I can imagine that milk tastes a little different now. Does it remind you of Victory Lane when you take a sip of milk now?
Yeah, it was funny. I don't drink milk often. I do drink chocolate milk sometimes. I like that. Who doesn't? But I was on a TV morning show here in Sweden the other day, and then they had brought milk for us to share with milk there on the TV show to sort of celebrate my 500 show, so 500 win. So that was pretty funny actually. So I have been drinking a bit more milk lately than prior, and that's for a good reason.
You like that taste, I imagine.
Yeah, it gives me some good memories. It's I don't know
$3 million sip. A $3 million sip of milk. I can handle that myself, right?
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Marcus Ericsson, Indy 500 winner for your 2022 Indy 500 here in the Freak Nation. And you got your face on the Borg Warner recently. In your opinion, does it look like you on the side of that Borg Warner? Is your nose too big? Is your face too long? Are your lips too small? What do you think about your face on that Borg Warner?
I think Will Behrens, the artist, did a really good job. I've seen, I was a bit nervous before because I've seen some examples on other sculptures, let's say, that hasn't been great, but Will has obviously always done a really good job over the years, and I think he did a good job with me. You can see it's me. He got my hair really well, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, I think it's super cool.
And if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook Live or anywhere across the world, what the hell is this?
Good post, right? No,
yeah.
So that's it's next to my hometown, Kumla, is a place called Örebro, and this is a statue of Ronnie Peterson, the F1 driver from Sweden who raced in the 70s, and he was from Örebro, the town next to me, and this is like his statue in downtown Örebro. So yeah, we were there doing some photo shoots. Actually, my helmet that I had there for the 500 is inspired by his helmet design that he used in the 70s. So it's pretty cool, actually.
So when is your statue going to go right next to him?
Yeah, that's the question. After what happened the other day, when we're in Kumla and having this celebration, that's maybe one day we'll see.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that happy bastard didn't win the Indy 500. You won the greatest race in the history of mankind. They ought to create like a 5-story statue of you holding your helmet and milk and everything else, man. Come on.
Yeah. I agree.
When we were talking about trophies, here in North America, one of the big trophies is the Stanley Cup. They take it around, they pour beer in it, and everybody has a party and everything. Does anything remotely close to that happen with the Borg Warner Trophy, or do you have security guards that keep it from going places where they don't want it to go?
Yeah, I think the Borg Warner Trophy is a little bit more fragile and unique than the Stanley Cup in many ways. I mean, the Stanley Cup is awesome as well, but as I understand it, they have like multiple versions of the Stanley Cup that they travel, because every one of the team members get it to their home country. And like you said, they party and throw it around and all that. The Borg Warner Trophy is a lot of security around. I'm the only one that's allowed to touch it, as I'm the winner, and then the security people have to have gloves on when they handle it and everything. So it's pretty high security, but we did do some cool stuff. I had like a friends and family sort of thing on Saturday night where I got some artists from Sweden to come by and some other people. So it was pretty cool. I've been trying to do some fun stuff with it when it's been here in Sweden for a week.
Indy 500 champion for 2022, Marcus Ericsson, joining us here in the Freak Nation. Buddy, thanks for taking time out. I know you're way the hell over there across the pond and the water and everything else there in Sweden. Good luck to you, buddy. Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, guys. Always good talking to you.